Okay, so have you heard the story about the 7-year-old boy who found his mother in the bathroom with a bag over her head, unalive?
No.
This is one of the craziest stories I had to cover. So the woman, her name was April Holt, and the man's name that she was married to was Donovan Holt.
Right.
Now, they had a good relationship. She was actually like Lash Tech. She had a really good business. She had a big following on TikTok, like 200,000 followers.
Okay.
And, you know, she would post a lot of family content. So it would be a lot of videos of them together having fun. They had like the picture perfect, you know, TikTok family life.
So we think on the
So
outside.
we think, and things would get worse. So fast forward, and 2 weeks before this incident happened, they go on TikTok and say that they're getting a divorce. But the video that they made together was really nice. Like they're hugging, they're laughing, saying we're still best friends. We've been together forever. We love each other. Nothing's changing. It's all.
So why y'all divorcing then?
Exactly. But it's all good vibes. The video's nice. She's saying, hey, you know, I love him. He loves me. But she requested the divorce. So fast forward, in July 28th, Donovan and April, they're arguing in the bathroom. There's a little bit of a hoopla. He gets out of the bathroom, leaves, you know, goes to get his son, which is in the other room, takes him out, feeds him, and then tells him to go check on his mom. When the 7-year-old gets to the bathroom, he finds his mother on the floor with a bag over her head, unresponsive. They call the police. Police gets there. By the time they get there, she's brain dead. There's nothing really they can do, and she passes away. Now, this is where things start to get crazy. Immediately after this happens, the mom isn't going for it because they're trying to rule it as a suicide.
Ow.
Right? This is where the story would get even crazier because the son would come forward with his own story saying that, well, he heard them arguing.
Right.
He came to the bathroom door when they didn't know because it was closed, and he looked underneath it and saw his mom on the floor. Like he could see
Dad
it
was still in the bathroom.
while they were both in the bathroom. So like he could see through the slit under the floor.
Yeah.
He eventually got up, ran back in his room. Then that's when his dad would come in and, you know,
check on your mom.
Exactly, that whole thing. So what would happen next is the mom starts to campaign. She's going crazy, telling the whole world like, nah, this is not what happened to my daughter. I want to get justice for my daughter. And this is some of the videos that she made. So this is like the first video that she made about it.
To make people aware of the situation that we have at hand, let people come up with their own conclusions, since many people think that my actions might be unjustified. However, this is my child, and I'm going to fight for justice for her. Her name is April Lynn Holt. On July 28th, she woke up, drank her coffee, journaled as usual, enjoying her peaceful morning, hugged and kissed her 7-year-old son, Denzel, and her husband then went into the bathroom and began to argue and fight. My 7-year-old grandson put his ear to the door and heard his parents fighting, and he looked underneath to see both of their feet. He then listened some more, but he couldn't understand what they were saying, and so he looked back under the door again, where he saw my daughter laying on the ground. He then ran to his room. His dad shortly after came into his room, and he got him dressed and he fed him. And he then had him go check on his mom. He asked him to go check on his mom, in which he unlocked the door by himself and saw his mom not breathing with a bag over her head on the ground. 911 was then called. We got to the hospital, and she had no brain function and no blood flow to her brain. We did not find out about the bag, which was not disclosed to us, for over 6 hours. In that time, her husband had went back to the apartment 2 times, not knowing I don't know what he was doing there. My daughter had requested a divorce 2 weeks prior to her death. On July 31st of 2023, my daughter was pronounced dead, and I want justice.
Now, this is sad, and after this, it would get even worse because she would go on TikTok and start making video after video after video after video after video asking for justice for her daughter. And then she would allow the son, named Denzel, 7-year-old son, to make a video. And this video is terrible.
Oh, he's such a cute.
Hi guys. So lately I haven't really been feeling that happy. I've been feeling mad, sad. But mostly, I feel like my dad's the one who did everything. I feel like my dad's the one who always made my mom mad or sad or a lot of other emotions. And I know that everyone in my family is sad, mad, and my dad, he's pretty guilty. and my dad does stuff that he's not supposed to, so I feel like I can't really be around him. I don't feel like I can be around him. But who I am with is my grandma, which I call my mom. Say hi, Mom.
That's sad, right? Now, it would get even worse because now after that video and time went by, there would be a custody battle between Donovan and the grandmother. And unfortunately, he would actually win custody of Denzel. So Denzel would end up with him while he still believes that this is the man that took his mother's life.
Right. He just said he don't want to be around him. He
Exactly.
doesn't feel like he should be around him.
Exactly. And there was some more facts that came out. And to be honest, what it seems like happened, or at least from the information that she gave, was that the real only person that was a witness was the son. But he's a 7-year-old kid and he didn't actually see anything, right? So he's unreliable. When they come in and see her with a bag over their head, they're trying to claim that she took her own life, which seems to me kind of crazy because I've never heard of anybody being able to successfully do that
with a plastic bag
to themselves. Now, she would eventually get the autopsy report. And in that report, she would go through it and a lot of things don't seem to add up. And she pointed out the inconsistencies. Now, I'm not a professional. She's not a professional, but she does make some pretty good points when she brings it up.
I like these points. It says there are multiple petechial hemorrhages that extend across the bilateral cheeks. She had her veins, where her blood vessels were red and they were hemorrhaging on her face, which is a sign of smothering or strangulation. And it says right here there are multiple hemorrhages across the bilateral cheeks. And you can look that up yourself. I've sent that to my detective, who I have asked, why is that not taken into account? And so he said he will look into it. Evidence of injury. This is the section on here that says, because I was told, my detective said, well, I didn't see any signs of struggle. So here's where it says there is a puncture wound surrounding her echomyosis within the right fossa. I'm not a medical person, so I'm just a mom. So there are 2 small purple bruises that are on the anterior aspect of her right forearm. There is a puncture wound in the left arm. There is a large purple echomyosis with a 6-centimeter abrasion that extends across the lateral aspect of her left thigh. Multiple small, faint purple contusions are on her lower extremities, on her bilateral lower extremities, showing, first of all, in the first page, it says that she had blunt force trauma. Now we're seeing that she's got bruises all over her body. And then as we go through here, this was just going on about her ribs and her clavicle bone. It says summary of case, and that's the page that I'm on. It says the summary of case. The descendant had a reported past medical history of alcohol and marijuana abuse. The detective decided to make this statement up completely on his own. Never given this information. My daughter drank wine. And yes, my daughter would take a half a gummy every day of marijuana. I'm not a mom that denies or even is ashamed of what my children do. If they want to have a glass of wine and they want to take half a gummy, if that's going to help them through life, well, then go for it. But to go into an autopsy and tell them that she has a reported, where is it reported? I would love to see that. Past medical history of alcohol and marijuana abuse. There is nowhere stated in any medical record that she has this.
So the mom, again, has been fighting for justice. And as you can see, she has a lot of problems with the detective. She feels like, if I'm reading this correctly, that the detective pretty much made up his mind immediately and then started, you know what I'm saying, influencing the case based on his own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So just to kind of get through it. Now, the unfortunate part about this is that after the court hearing for the child, they would put a gag order on the mom so she could no longer make any more videos about it. So this is her video after getting the gag order.
Therefore, I've been limited and not able to speak about my daughter's case any further until there are charges. And so in helping me, what I need is that we put pressure on the Metro Nashville Police Department to make sure that they understand that April is not just a number and that she is a beautiful young girl, that her life was taken too early, and that we want justice.
So she's still been continually fighting for justice and to this day has not received it at all.
Ooh. There's so many things wrong with that. How are you doing the autopsy and you see all the signs of this was not a suicide? Do you say this was a suicide? How do you rule it a suicide at that point?
This is the thing. I think that part of it is going to be hard for them to prove that it wasn't, and they don't want to go through the trouble. But I would rather you charge and then make them fight it. Like, if that's the case, let's fight it then. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't make sense. This woman
so at least he got the charge on his record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it'll show, to the history, oh, he was tried and charged before. If something like this happens again, what if he gets with another woman and she mysteriously commits it? You know what I'm saying? Like, this could be a track record for this guy if he's gotten away with it before. Exactly. Or if he gets away with this.
And I don't think that the son would just wake up one day and decide that his dad was the one that took...
What 7-year-old's doing that?
And the entire timeline of events just doesn't make sense.
Why would you send your 7-year-old to go check on your wife when he was just eating bread? Like, that, it sounds fishy.
The whole thing sounds fishy. And the fact that he heard you guys arguing, the fact that there was an argument right before this all happened.
And that he didn't mention that to the police.
Yeah, I wonder if... Exactly. And then, like she said, the fact that she's covered in abrasions and bruises and that...
Puncture wounds.
And that there's blunt force trauma. Like,
how?
So where did that come from?
Because and my thing is, how do you strangle yourself with a plastic bag? Did they find the plastic bag tied or like? How do you do that? Because your fight or flight is going to end up kicking in and you're going to rip the bag off.
Like, you have to be dedicated. You have to be a different type of dedicated to do that. And I just...
Did they check her blood alcohol level? Was she high or was she drunk at the time to substantiate that she had a issue with alcohol abuse?
Exactly.
And substance abuse. Like, there's so many things that I watch too much Law & Order SVU.
I think that he should have been charged, but also maybe they were looking out for the child, because if he is charged, they're going to have to put the kid on the stand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is more trauma, but I mean, what could be more traumatizing than living with the guy that took your mom's life, if that is what really happened?
Like,
you
I don't know if you did or didn't, and I'm living with you. I'm uncomfortable. I don't like it. Not to mention, just use his video. If he's declared unfit witness or whatever, but he has put this video up, that could still be used as evidence. It's public.
Well, I guess they would have to have the permission of the guardian. You get what I'm saying?
Dang, but they granted him custody.
Exactly. So, I mean, and again, so now she's fighting for justice, hasn't received it. It's been months. Hopefully April will get justice. I don't know. This is a sad situation. I wanted to bring light to it because it's kind of died down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of videos. Exactly. You know how that goes. And then it kind of died down. But the mother is dead on the fact that she believes her daughter's life was taken, and she talked to her daughter that morning, and her daughter wrote in her journal that morning as well, 2 hours before her life was taken, talking about, I'm gonna give to the world, I want to help people, I want to do well, having a positive affirmation journal.
So why was she commit suicide?
Exactly.
Right after
with no evidence. There's no,
no documented doctor's records or anything like that say she has a history of mental illness or a history of substance abuse like that.
She wasn't spiraling out of control. She didn't write a suicide note. She didn't tell anybody.
You don't just up and commit suicide. There's things that lead up to it.
Exactly. So I don't know. It looks like a case of a cop not wanting to dig too deep and scratch that off his list. More than it looks like someone that took a real look at it and decided that, this was what they say it was. But unfortunately, like we said, at this point, she hasn't received justice, if that is what she deserves. And, we'll keep you updated if, this story does end up having a change in the future. But as of right now, it seems like this case is closed.
In Tally Court, he is guilty.
The Church of Joe Stone hasn't decided yet, but I'm with you.